The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of rmconair.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, the So What Morning Show is back in the building for yet another heater. Jesus, get to your phone lines right now, 323-965-1600. This is the number to dial. Oh, God. Yeah. When I tell you we have a room full up in this piece, it's going to be absolutely bananas. So let me do this. You know we have topics, and today's topic is, oh God, I don't know how to say this, but it's something that needs to be dealt with. Now, if you've been paying attention to all of the shows, they kind of run concurrently. You know, we talked about relationship currencies, you know, excluding money, the other currencies that potentially could be more valuable than money. You know, like character, integrity, you know, empathy, communication skills. We talked about that in the relationship currency show. Then we talked about the marriage architecture show, right? Listen, all of these topics are kind of running together here. And the reason, and then last week's show, it was crazy. You know, we talked about, is the black community on life support? Jeez Louise, it's crazy. So now we continue this running dialogue with today's topic. From a woman's POV, from a woman's perspective, does love have a color? Does love have a racial preference? And is interracial dating a logical solution for the ills of black love? Ooh, geez, Louise. Black people don't like each other, even when they're in love. Now we know all. Now we know all relationships have problems, but it seems like our problems seem insurmountable. You know, the way we deal with each other, the way we interface, is interracial dating and or marriage the only practical solution for the relationship ills of the black community? That's today's topic, 323-965-1600. That's the number to dial. Now, as is commonplace, what I like to do is give you something to read. I'm trying to bend your mind. I'm trying to bend, you know, or break the box you live in. Now, some people's box is a shack. Some people's box is a mansion. Some people's box is a trailer home. I'm trying to add on to your box. Maybe we're renovating your box. Maybe you're hitching another trailer to your trailer. Let's get a double wide trailer going. I don't know. But this is why I ask you to read different types of books. And instead of bringing them all, because what I've done now is clutter my room and my home. Now, because usually after I finish reading a book 4 or 5 times, I put it in a box and I go, okay, I'm cool. I'm on to the next set of books. There are books all over my house now that I've been bringing them into the studio. So I got wise and I said, you know, just put them on your phone. Jesus, you don't have to lug these books around all the time.
1956 is that way.
I have an incredible book that I gave my son when he was in the 5th grade. I mean, this is the type of program I got my boy on. Maybe you get your boy on it. Maybe you get your life on this kind of program. This book is incredible. It's called Dynamic Thought by Henry Thomas Hamblin. Dynamic Thought. Book is retarded. It is absolutely insane. And I like to grab books from a whole bunch of different genres. I don't like fiction books, so I like to give books that will give you tools and how you process and understand the world around you. That's not fair. The next book, incredible work, The Tao of Physics, an exploration of the parallels between modern physics and Eastern mysticism. The Tao of Physics is incredible. I mean, and it touches on some of the things that even Einstein saw back in 1905 when he first wrote the Theory of Relativity paper, you know. I mean, it bends. What scientists are now finding is most scientists have been, you know, we don't believe in God. Most scientists have been, you know, kind of atheistic in their approach, if that's a word. But, you know, now they're starting to get so deep into reality that they're saying, okay, none of this stuff could have just happened on some random happenings. No, there's some intelligent force behind all that is manifest. And this book is one of those key seminal works that talked about it. The Tao of Physics by Geoff Capra. Very powerful book. The next book, The 5 Love Languages, The Secret to Love That Lasts by Gary Chapman.
It's a good one.
Heat rock! You want to change the way you think? I'm tired of people with low-grade food stamp-like thoughts creating a low-grade food stamp-like existence. Everybody's on food stamps when it comes to love. Nobody's dealing with true precious metals when it comes to love. We're all spending multicolored Monopoly money when it comes to love. Get The 5 Languages of Love by Gary Chapman. Great book. I mentioned this book before, but our book club friends out there who organize and aggregate all of the books that I suggest, I think they put up the wrong book. This is the book to get. Excuse me. Loyalty to Your Soul, The Heart of Spiritual Psychology by H. Ronald Hulnick, Ph.D., and Mary R. Hulnick, Ph.D. Go get this book, Loyalty to Your Soul. Heater beyond belief. I'm trying to bend and break you out of the cage. Listen, one of my favorite philosophers, J. Krishnamurti, talked about setting man unconditionally free. Free from what? Free from your conditioning. But what we've done to that conditioning, which acts as a cell, we've decorated it. You know, we put a bidet in the cell, right? You know what? Let's paint the walls sea moss green. And let's hang, an idiot box plasma screen on the wall. Yeah, right? Let's just beautify the cell. Just because you've beautified the cell or made it beautiful doesn't mean it's still not a prison. That's why I'm trying to give you these books so we can break free from that. Law of Attraction and Spiritual Relationships by John H. Addison. Go smack yourself in the mouth with this book. I mean, try to knock all the teeth that you speak that bullshit with out your mouth by going to get this book. Law of Attraction and Spiritual Relationships by John H. Addison. Here's another book. You might be upset about this one, but I don't give 2 shakes of a fat rat's ass about your temperament. Please, go get this book. I'm trying to educate at the same time. What do I mean by education? This is, we're going to do a show on education too, because we're going to get in education's ass too, and we're going to talk about it on this show briefly, but I need you to go out there and do this. White Slaves, African Masters. An anthology of American Barbary captivity natives. You gotta go get this book by Paul Bapler. I always tell people, because black people in America are bereft of the knowledge of our culture. We weren't the first slaves. We enslaved white people. We taught them slavery. Let's not get it twisted. That's what they want to teach you, though. They just want to teach you from the angle of being a victim. But this is how you unvictimize yourself, by going to get this information. White Slaves, African Masters, an anthology of American Barbary captivity narratives. That's the book. Paul Bapler. Go look it up.
You're gonna have to put a. You're gonna have to spell Bapler for me, Pamela.
Bapler, Baepler. Oh, this book right here is retarded. Go get this book. This is book alerts. Golly, when I read this book, I fell out of my chair laughing. This dude right here is crazy. Radical honesty. How to transform your life by telling the truth. Brad Blanton, PhD. This dude ran for governor, or he ran for some political office. In this book, he reveals, oh yeah, I got herpes. I lied to my wife. In the book, he reveals all of the lies he's ever told. And he's created this like movement. And when he became, this political figure, he was like, I'm going to run on the platform of truth. Yes, I'm going to take money from lobbyists. I don't really have your best interest. It's a book about telling the unadulterated truth in every aspect of your life, not lying, not even one iota. Honey, you look like a fat marshmallow in that dress. Don't do it to yourself. I won't be able to stand next to you. Great book. Radical honesty, man. And trust me, it's hard to live that kind of life. I lied to somebody yesterday. Damn, I just couldn't hurt him. Like, your breath is Christ alive.
Your breath smell like some doo-doo crawled in your mouth and took a dump.
That's disgusting, Geoff.
Yeah,
well, thank you.
Geoff.
All right.
Thank you for sharing that.
You know who has a great one? Johnny Mac. He says, your breath smells like surgery blood. Or he said, zoo dirt.
That's a good one.
That's Esau. That's actually
zoo
Esau.
dirt is great, right? Johnny Mac. Shout out to Johnny Mac.
That's actually Esau McGraw with the zoo dirt.
Is it? Yes. Or maybe Esau stole it from Johnny.
I would contend that Johnny Mac would definitely say Esau stole it from him.
I would contend that Johnny Mac would say the same.
I love Johnny. Shout out to Johnny.
And here's the coup de grace book. This is a book, man, that when I read it for the first time, I thought to myself, I was dead the first 30 some odd years of my life before I read. I am alive for the first time in my life. Wow. This is how potent and powerful this book is. And it is relevant to the topic of this show. It is such a profoundly important book for our lives. Listen to the title. Oh, Christ. Guilt is the teacher. Love is the lesson. By Joan Borysenko, PhD. Joan Borysenko. Borysenko. BorYsenko, PhD. By Joan Borysenko. Guilt is the teacher. Love is the lesson. Really quickly, if you want to go get my book, please reach out to me. I'm urging you to do so at my email address. That's 2319, Z as in zebra, O as in Oscar, the number 1 at gmail.com. That's 2319zo1 at gmail.com. Please hit me up if you want a copy of The Rebirth of Seeds. I would greatly appreciate it. And I thank you in advance. I have one more book. 2 more books, actually. And this is a book that is relevant to the topic. Don't Bring Home a White Boy by Karen Langhorne Folan. Now, I always tell people, I study both sides of, an argument. Her side of the argument is really kind of, I don't want to say male bashing or from the feminist perspective, but I'm going to say she's kicking our ass pretty good in this book. And she makes some valid points, but then at the same time, I'm like, it's a little biased. But the publishing industry is that way. Have you ever seen a relationship book that was written specifically for men? all of the relationship books are geared toward the feminine audience because they're the ones that buy those type of books, right?
Right.
So, Sister Girl, Get His Ass Back, #1 bestseller by Jethro, nigga. But my point is, I'm just saying, this is what happens. But this book is written from that perspective. But I think that's how you broaden your perspective, by knowing not necessarily what the enemy is saying, but knowing what the opposition is saying. And in my final book, The Caveman. She's on our show today. The Caveman Formula: 4 rules you never knew you needed to conquer your woman. Linda Gross.
Written by a woman.
Written by a woman.
4 men.
4 men. She's on our side. A lot of people don't think that. I would love to see, if I came home and my woman was in a little raccoon fur panty outfit. You know, a little.
You'd be at my house.
You'd be at my house. Hey, baby, put on the Chia Pet. We about to get freaky. Anyway, she's on our show today, Linda Gross. And when I come back, I'll be introducing the guests. House full of sisters, man. This is going to be off the chart.
Good Lord. Is
interracial dating and marriage the answer to all of the relationship ills of the black community? Zoe Williams, 323-965-1600. We'll be back in 2.2. Is my intro.
It's funky and it's uplifting.
Yes. It is a show that's starring you. We are not doing or having this discussion by ourselves. You must participate. The show is starring you. The number, Jeff Brown, what is it? Do you remember?
It is 323-965-1600. something, 1600.
Jesus Christ. And this is why I do it myself.
Oh, 965, 1600.
Christ alive. You've got to participate. As Krishnamurti would say, we are doing this together, or we are not doing this at all. Right?
We sounded kind of like Yoda. Together we are doing this. Not at all we won't.
So really quickly, let me introduce everybody, right? If you're just tuning in, this is the So What Morning Show on rmconair.com. Of course, they have a new website, so if you're having difficulty seeing it, that's okay. The number to dial is 323-965-1600. Today's topic, from a woman's POV, does love have a color? Does love have a racial preference? And the deep one, is interracial dating a logical solution for the ills of black love? A lot of black women are saying, I'm sick and tired of you monkey-ass niggas. You are shiftless, you no good, I ain't settling, I'm bouncing, I'm out. Right?
Good for is your penis.
Hey, what have we done to piss her off to such a degree? 323-965-1600. It seems to be the black man's fault in everything, right? Ask yourself a question. What male of another race does a better job for you, black woman, than your own black man? White men are just much better. They pay the bills. I can count on them. They listen. They don't get upset when I cuss them out. I'm just saying. Somebody call me, 323-965-1600. Before I get into my questions, though, let me introduce the high level of finity. I'm gonna make up a word. Yes, it is some
Sexy
creamy
assness.
peanut butteriness going on up in here. I guess this is what Hershey's felt like when they created Reese's Pieces cups.
Sweet Lord.
Yeah, it is gorgeous in the room. Let's start.
Close your eyes and pick.
Let's start with my new friend, who has come to the show with a tremendous wealth of knowledge and beauty and intelligence and just overall great vibes.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Wow, man.
What type of chicanery merchant is in the building? Anyway, let me welcome Jasmine Diaz from her incredible celebrity matchmaking company, Sean McKenzie. Welcome back to the voice of, not the voice of reason, the So What Morning Show. Jasmine, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me back. And for those that haven't had a chance to tune in previously before, you can find me online on Twitter at Black Matchmaker or at SeanMcKenzie.com.
And don't you have a new Twitter account that you hit me with?
You
At
know,
Sexy Freckles.
I have a new advice site called veryunmarried.com, so you can follow us on Twitter.
She's going to show you how to get the hell out of prison. However, she's married, and she's in an interracial relationship, marriage,
With a big
for 11
number.
years.
Big number, 11 years.
Wow. She's
you.
going to have a lot to add to this conversation. Next, great friend of ours. She's back for a third or fourth time. I love to bring people back. The Cave Woman formula. 4 rules you never knew you needed to conquer your woman. Linda Gross. We call her DT. What up, DT?
Thank you so much for having me here today.
Hey, thank you for coming back.
I also wanted to say, yes, the book is written for men. I'm a men's advocate, but I have a lot of women readers who get it because they want to see
Teach 'em.
the mirror.
Teach them.
They want to see what they're up to, and I dissect all their processes because a lot of these processes are subconscious.
Wow.
The women don't even know what they're doing.
Right.
So the book lays it all out, and by knowing what it is you're doing, you can affect and attract a better man.
Right, you can delete the virus that's taking over your heart, your OS. It makes sense, yeah.
So you can find the book. Just Google Amazon, The Caveman Formula. You can find me on Twitter, DT4M. That's the number 4, DT4M.
4 men.
Yep, 4 men. And Facebook, all over the place.
It's wonderful. And, of course, back in the building for yet another riveting conversation.
House pet.
If you've ever wanted to see Nefertiti, reincarnated, Queen Ty,
Bless you. Good morning.
She's got the eyeshadow on
Hatshepsut,
and everything.
Jesus.
6 feet of caramely goodness.
The
6'2"
beige.
inches. Don't
Two
be about
inches.
my 2
Oh
inches.
my.
The beige avatar, one of the beige planet.
Yeah.
Back with us, Margo Hudson,
From the beige planet.
destined for love without the tail. Welcome back.
I don't know about that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Zoe, for having me. I'm happy to be here this morning.
Tell us where we can find you.
All right, everybody. I'm Margo Hudson. Destination Love Life is my company. DestinationLoveLife.com is coming soon. But until then, you can actually go to my YouTube page, which is Destination Love Life 2. If you just put in Destination Love Life, I'll pop up the TV station there. And then also, you can follow me on Twitter at Destin Love Life. And I'm actually looking for a lot of amazing contributors to contribute to this website. So please go to my YouTube, check out the video that's there, the latest one posted. But I'm here, I'm an advocate for men and women and helping people to understand each other better and also for healing and growth on deeper levels from the inside out.
Wow, great.
So that's
And
what we're dealing
also with us, lifeonsprings.com, Kibibi Spring. Christ alive. Talk to
Hello.
us, Kibibi.
Good to be back.
I'm so happy to have you here. Tell us about your website, what you do, please.
I'm a marketing communications executive, and Life on Springs is just my musings on career navigation, balancing work and love.
Just helping
life
people.
In general. Just helping people.
Just helping
Being
folks.
generous.
Wow, beautiful. And also, back for round 2. We got UCLA in the building for real. DT is UCLA, and here's another slice of UCLA upside your dome piece.
That's right.
We've got some power in the building. None other than my good friend, ex-Foxhole mate, right? And she's done many shows with me before. She's a rising star, a supernova even, that is sustained in intensity. She will not burn out quickly, but she shall shine bright. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Danisha Danielle, back in the building.
Oh, thank you. I felt like there was going to be applause there after that supernova introduction, but thank you.
Hey, thank you. And of course, Geoff Brown is in the building, and our good friend,
It's just falling in.
Dr. Mark Goulston. We are about to go in for real. If you want to participate, we are doing this together. 323-965-1600. Questions. Are good black men on the endangered species list because of high incarceration rates, homicides, and low rates of education and employment? 323-965-1600. True or false? Black women choose to date out because they're starting to refuse, right, the black male losers. They're just saying, you know what? Most black men are losers. We're starting to refuse that. We don't want that anymore. You guys are not stepping up to the plate educationally. You're not stepping up to the plate financially. You know what? We're going to check on somebody else. Right? Oh, this is crazy. Are black men and women simply tired of dating the negative social narrative and stereotype of what black men and women are portrayed as in American media? You know, I'm just tired of the thug. I'm tired of the baby daddy, right? I'm tired of the po broken lonely. I'm tired of the fixer-upper. 323-965-1600. Oh. True or false? Most blacks in America are of mixed racial heritage anyway. So why would interracial dating be a problem? Somebody call me right now, 323-965-1600. Jesus Christ. Dr. Mark once told me before, traumatized people can't hear from other people that haven't been traumatized. So with that being said, would two traumatized, oppressed people, races, or culture make for a great interracial match? Maybe like a Jew and a black person. We both been oppressed. We good to go. You been under somebody's boot?
Me too.
We still under somebody's boot. You see the footprint? We got matching footprints. Oh, we go together. I'm just asking. Right? Somebody call me, 323-965-1600. True or false? Americanized women of all races prefer racial options when seeking an intimate partner. Doesn't matter what race they are. If they're Americanized, if they're Americanized Korean, they want to see what black pole is like. They want to see what jalapeno pole is like. They might even want to see what Polish pole is like. I'm just saying, because they've been Americanized. Somebody call me right now, 323-965-1600. For all the women in the room, Margo, have you had a slice of salami, the pink pole, in your sinkhole? I'm just asking. What about DT?
Wow.
DT.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Have
actually.
you?
I have one on a date, but not actually. Haven't had any salami inside of me.
Okay, good. I'm just saying.
Keep it real.
I need you to say that one.
That sounds like baloney to me.
That sounds like baloney to me.
It's true.
Wow.
His turn rated R real quick.
Would you like to start?
I'm just saying, DT, have you had...
You know, I often get asked that question by delicious black men. You know, have you dated a black guy? But they don't take the next step to actually say, do you want to go for a drink? You want to go out? Or
What do you say?
They're afraid. I don't know. It's like, and I'm not going to be the guy to chase them down.
What's your answer?
So the answer is no.
So you might...
I'm open to it.
You
but,
are.
They haven't taken that next step.
They don't want to be first. They don't want to break you into the white
come on.
girl.
Every black man wants to be
code of
first.
No.
Well, then...
Not with white girls, you don't.
Why wouldn't you?
Not with white girls, you don't. That's a
Jeff.
bumpy road. Okay, first, you can't say nigga. Second, please do not. You need to know this. Big joker, little joker, ace of spades, deuce. Stop cutting me with that damn jack when we play spades. We did that. You don't have to tell her. The white girl been around black people. You don't have to tell her that.
Wow.
She didn't say she hasn't been around black people.
You got to throw the rule book at me first. Is that
I
what you're
thought it's a
saying?
lot of roots. See, she didn't know that. Big joker,
So-
little joker, ace of spades, deuce. She
Wow.
didn't know that.
So let's do it. Let's do it right
Cutting
now.
that damn jack.
Kibibi, have you had interracial pole? Interpol.
That would be some intelligentsia right there.
Indeed. And do you find that there's a difference? A subtle difference between Dexter St. Jock and White Cock?
I will say
Wow,
that
we
a
going
man
there.
is a man is a man.
We're going into
Don't
that.
blame it on me today.
Hey, we got to keep it real.
So it's the same. It's the
That's,
same.
yeah, a man is a man.
Do they smell different though when the chemicals that come from the body?
No.
different. Okay.
No.
So
Wow,
are
do
you
they
saying
smell
you have
different?
All right.
one
Now we
on?
lying. All right.
Different thing.
Not
All right.
tell.
It's getting intense
All
already.
right. Now we lying. Okay. All right.
All right, girl.
I dated a white girl that was so fine, you could take her to a black picnic and sisters would give you high fives. She was that fine. But when we was
I
in the
don't,
car, it was
impossible. What?
raining. She was fine. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh, sweet Lord.
So let's continue with these questions, and then I'm going to go around. We're going to pick one question and we're going to go in on it. By what means, other than finance and education, should black women evaluate black men or men from other races, for that matter? Right? By what means? Is it always money? Because black women have been accused of just being materialistic. And that is the end-all, begin-all with black women. Are black women, when it comes to choosing a man, at the bottom two rungs of Maslow's pyramid of needs? I just need somebody to take care of me, cover the bills, make sure I'm paid, covered, fed, all of that. Or are we seeking more from men other than financial gain? We talked about this in the currency show, right? Do Asian, white, and Latino women treat black men better than sisters do? Should black men just take their asses down to Brazil and get another? I'm just saying, they African American too.
Yes, they are.
Just South African American. South American Africans. Hey, they seem to treat black men different.
Yes, they do.
Turnabout is fair play.
I'm just saying, maybe the social programming that's running on their mind isn't as contaminated as the social programming running on the minds of African Americans.
Not even nearly.
I'm just saying, 323-965-1600. Let's get to it.
Do you think, well, it's going to be tough. Do you think white men versus black men, who blames more and who makes more excuses? White men or black men?
Black men, generally speaking.
Black men easy.
We would say black men easy because let's just remember, white men don't have to make excuses.
Get out of my head.
They're in the catbird seat of authority. The world is under the foot of the white man. Let's just be honest.
No, but it's one of the issues because there's nothing that turns off a woman of any race than a man who all the time is blaming or making excuses.
Agreed.
Victim mentality.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Victim mentality.
Absolutely.
Because you might get the hots for them, but you can't respect them. And if you can't respect them and you stay with them, you lose respect for yourself.
But then that would mean the sister has bought into the social programming of the oppressor. Because if she cannot see his plight and says, oh, you're making excuses, well, if we look at all of the statistics across the board, 50% of all African American students are dropouts. If we look at the prison rate, oh, Jesus, we make up 50% of jail inmates. If we look at all of these mitigating circumstances that are in play via ageism, racism, sexism, and classism, which is a system of control, government control, if she says, I ignore all of that shit, you should still rise.
Well, let me ask you: Is it wrong?
Doing her man a favor?
Is it wrong for a woman
if she's in support of him?
Okay,
yes.
Is it wrong for a woman, rightly or wrongly, to marry up?
What is considered?
Yes, go deeper into up.
Yeah, give me up.
Oh, no.
You about to piss me off, Whitey Locks.
What's up? What's up?
Right or wrong, I think it's biological.
Yeah, say more about that. Then we can both.
Yeah.
Then we can both be tarred and feathered and leave. Go on.
Well, I'm a firm believer that you don't attract what you want; you attract what you are.
Woo!
So, is there anything wrong with a woman who wants to marry up? No, but she better be increasing herself during that time.
So if she's
increasing herself, then she should be attracting a man that does the same.
So if she attracts an oppressor, has she thus oppressed herself?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Is she buying into that? Absolutely.
Interesting. 323-965-1600. Ladies, please chime in. I need to know your opinions. Let's go with Margo.
Okay, what exactly do you want?
I just want to understand. I just want to understand because what's happening is what I'm starting to see is that there's this overwhelming throw my hands up kind of energy from sisters.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
Well, first of all, I got to say this, that as far as people being an asshole or just not being somebody that's pleasant to be in a relationship, someone who's not good, doesn't have good relational skills, that transcends race or anything else. So there are people that say, I don't want to date black men anymore. They're delusional as far as I'm concerned because there are assholes in every race and men who cheat in every race. Even you date an ugly guy, you think he's not going to cheat, his ass might cheat and treat you and beat you too. So it's really about, like Danisha, like you were saying, you attract what you are. So I think that the more work that you can do on yourself as far as self-development, spiritually, get the healing, making sure you take responsibility for your healing, then you're going to attract a better mate. And you're going to make better choices because all kinds of men can be attracted to you, but who are you going to choose?
Right. That's heat.
Well,
Jasmine, let me ask you. Do you think it is a responsibility of an interracial couple to really just dive into the culture of the person you're married to or dating?
Good question. I can answer that in how I think about it, as I am married to a Puerto Rican guy who is basically like a
black.
person.
Puerto Ricans are black.
That don't count.
That don't even count. That ain't an interracial date.
Is he from Brooklyn?
Actually, he is. Sunset Park.
I'm married to.
Does he speak Spanish too?
He black.
Okay, then maybe a little bit.
Yeah. But the way I think about
light-skinned nigga.
The way I think about it, it's an important thing if you're thinking about the long-term viability of your relationship. For me, having children and all of that, I think understanding both cultures is a really important element. But I think that sometimes people get confused about interracial relationships because I've often talked to my own clients about this, and more recently posted it on Twitter with this question: how do you feel about interracial relationships? And I find that a lot of women, even some black men, feel like dating outside of their race is something that is not for them, and partly because they feel like the cultural differences are so wide. And I think there is a little bit of truth there, but mostly, when you're in a relationship with somebody of another race, you're not really focused on their culture. You're really focused on your relationship, the person as they are, your love,
your
all
selfishness,
of that.
right?
Yeah. I guess in some ways.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, there are going to be some differences. And so you have to be prepared for those differences. I don't think you should go into a relationship completely blind.
Which most people do.
Most people do. But I think it's something that is important. If it is important to them to know more about you and your culture, it should be important to you to learn more about them.
Right. But most people don't. You're here for my pleasure. You're here to make me feel better. You're here to make me forget about the holes that are in my soul. You're here to make me just ignore about all the shit I need to work on internally. And until we run up into the conflict that is inherently built into this relationship, that's the only time I'm really going to be paying attention to anything that is of real substance. I'm sorry.
You know what,
Danisha?
I don't think we're talking racial differences here. I think what we're talking about is most people spend much less time trying to understand the other person than they expect the other person to understand them. And so I think that's what we're talking about is that a lot of people don't even know what it's like to understand another person. Most men try to figure out people, and they think figuring out someone's the same as understanding, and they couldn't be further different.
Wow. Danisha, and then Mackenzie.
I had a white boyfriend. It's not really an interracial relationship, being that my mother is white.
Jesus. Hey, hold on. Is your dad black?
Yes.
Then you're black. Thank you.
Well,
it's
I'm
interracial.
getting to that because I was raised
Is
by
that
my
true,
father.
though? Is that
I was
true?
raised in the home with my father, so I really always identified myself as a black woman. And so when I was dating this white guy seriously for the first time, I was really, really focused on all the cultural differences. Does he get this? Does he get that? And what ended up breaking us up a year later was not cultural. It was actually religious differences. So I think what you're talking about is really the important thing. Sometimes little things like I know you were joking, but she doesn't know how to play spades. That type of thing is not something that
she don't know how to braid my daughter's hair.
Right, but she might know how to play
solitaire.
Yahtzee. I don't know.
Yahtzee.
No.
She might play Yahtzee like a champ over there, and teach you something.
I will teach you bridge.
Cricket,
Right.
But you might be able to learn something in those cases, and which might expand your horizon. So the big things are like character and a lot oftentimes
most
religion
people don't.
and
Yeah,
things
most
like
people
that.
don't. Yeah.
But to parenting, viewpoints, family interactions, those are the things that really, if you have that in common with somebody, the racial differences are
most people
minor.
want you to be in alignment with their dysfunction. If they can find somebody that can sync up with what's wrong with them, they can then be comfortable.
No, I disagree with that.
That's too bad.
Well,
Okay.
I beg to differ. Wait, let me ask. I'll even ask the men in this situation, but I want to hear from the ladies in the room. I think what's more important to you is that the other person is trying to understand you. Whether they ever understand you or not is not as important as they're making the effort. Because a lot of times people cannot understand who you are. But if you're worth getting to know, if instead of being presumptuous, they say, run that by me again because this is too important for me to get wrong.
But see, Doc, I agree, but there's more to it. When you put in the concept of one's ability to accurately ascertain the worth of another. Most people don't know how to do that. Worth is based off of behavior. Well, if you behave this way, then I think you're worth it. But what you don't understand is behavior is the most effective way to communicate because people take behavior over words, but they don't understand the intention behind the behavior. I can behave exactly the way you want me to, but still yet be lying.
Yes.
I could still have an intention that is not for your highest good.
Just because I don't
So we don't really know how to ascertain worth.
Just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand.
Now, let's do this. We have a special guest on the line really quickly. Okay. James Hanna.
Hanna dog.
Oh no, Jesus.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. I know you've been listening, James. What's going on, man? Talk to me about today's topic.
I don't care for it. I don't care. I don't care for interracial dating and relationships. Because with black folks, they're not honest.
Go deeper.
Okay, hold on. Here's how I feel about it. If black folks, we got to be honest about it. We're not honest. We're not. Black people have been trained through slavery to love white, hate black. So that's that's what it's about. It ain't about. It's about sisters who see the white man dating this white boy as a step up, and brothers too. That's what it's about. We crave white skin, and it's self-hate. It's rooted. A lot of it is rooted in self-hate, and we're not being honest about that.
My baby's gonna be so cute.
Corey Holcomb says it all the time. This is why the dude with the ponytail, you not gonna abort that baby. But the dude, that's what he says. He said if there's a dude with a ponytail, she gonna keep the baby. If the dude got light eyes, she gonna keep the baby.
Orzo.
She gonna keep that, and that's what it is. We've been trained to love white and hate black.
Wow.
I mean, brothers go on one bad date with a sister. Oh, fuck sisters. It's white girl. Stuff like that. Black women, they think that this white boy is an escape from black men until they have a black son. Now what the fuck you gonna do?
So, James, let me ask you this.
Wow.
Are white women, because maybe the problem is submissiveness. We hear about the angry black woman and the angry black man, and the woman got attitude, and the stank factor on the sister is so high. Even Patrice O'Neal said, the white woman on the front end is just more pleasant. You walk up to a white woman, hey, how you doing? Hey, how are you? You walk up to a sister, I'm busy. Right? So my question is, are white women more submissive than black women, and are they more attractive?
The problem is this. Black men are playing from a 60-year-old playbook.
Ooh, go deeper, please.
Dealing with black men. They have not evolved to what it is now, and they don't understand this. We don't have to fuck with them anymore. Okay? Back in the day, Jim Crow era, yes, we had to fuck with you, so we had to take all that mouthy bullshit. We had to take it. There was nowhere to go. There's nowhere else to go. You were the only game in town. You're not the only game in town anymore, and you have to adjust.
Wow.
The white woman being nice and all that, don't it? It ain't that the white woman is nice or she's more submissive. You need to do that shit. You can't compare. It ain't like you can't. That's what kills me about black women when it comes to interracial dating. Is black women will be mouthy, loud, sassy, and all that shit to us. Then the second they cross over to white boys, they lose the weave, they lose the color contact, they put that job interview voice on. And it's like, shit, you could have did that for us.
Wow.
Listen, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. James Hanna kicking that reel like I knew he would. 323-965-1600. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, is interracial dating and marriage the preferred solution for the ills of black love? We'll be back in 2 minutes, I promise. 323-965-1600. So what morning? Jesus. It's a show that's starring you. Callers, we're going to come to you. Are racial slurs okay during sexual intercourse for interracial couples?
Oh, interracial couples, okay.
Take this dick, white bitch. 323-965-1600.
I say that on the date.
Wow. D'Artagnan!
Sitting in Denny's. Take this dick.
Give it to me, Django! Give it to me, Django! I'm just saying, is it okay?
They don't play slave master. Y'all,
Right. Is it okay?
I'm finna sneak in here and get this for Master get back.
You about to do what?
I'm finna sneak in here, Miss Sally. I'm gonna put it to you. You go.
Wow.
You might want to bite down on this thing right here, because I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to try to
Bite
make your
down.
kidney shift.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Listen, we're back. So What Morning Show. Listen, if you just tuned in, today's topic is on
Where that came from.
fire. Again, this is from a woman's POV. We have a room full of beautiful women.
Fine-ass women.
And I really appreciate all of you guys for coming in and sharing your expertise and your information. We've got James Hanna on the phone. We have Margo Hudson sitting right next to me. We have Kibibi Springs, Life on Springs. We have Danisha, Danielle, Donna Trump. We've got DT, Linda Gross in the building. We've got my girl. She's my friend now. She's good
Sexy
people,
Freckles.
man. Sexy Freckles over there. Jasmine Diaz. We have women in the house to
Crazy.
support the craziness that is Zoe Williams, Geoff Brown, and Dr. Mark Goulston. And also on the phone line, special guest. He's in the building with us. Comedian extraordinaire and a very intelligent and opinionated brother. Chicago bred and raised.
Chicago's on.
You know what it is. James Hanna in the building. Now, let's do this. We've got callers on the line. Really quickly, let's get their opinion and then let's jump back into the debate. Music Man, you're on, brother. Holla at me.
Hey, how you doing, Zoe?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's going on? What do you think of today's topic, man?
I was trying to log into the website, but it's down. So I've been listening to you on the phone, and I've been enjoying the show so far.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, brother.
So shout out to Geoff Brown,
Thank you, sir. What's up?
and shout out to all the panel. I can't see the women, which is making me very upset.
Yeah,
because
they
the
need
website's
to
down.
fix
But anyway,
Woo, they
Oh,
fine in
Jesus,
here.
man.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That was on purpose.
Yeah.
Can't look in a bad spot in here.
No, you can't.
Even the girl on the you can't see the girl running the show today. God.
Oh, yeah. She's a brand new pack of now laters, too.
Just candy. Just candy.
but you know what? I wanna piggyback and add on to what James Hanna had spoken about earlier. He was on point about the self-hate, which black people need to address. At least start talking about it. Most black people don't want to admit it.
Yeah, black people, we hate ourselves, man. You're absolutely right.
Also, I want to add on. This is black women and black men's issue. The good black men and the good black women are attracted to bad black women and bad black men.
Wow.
And it's natural for a good person to try to help out a bad person. And most of the time, a bad person is going to take your goodness for weakness and your kindness for weakness. And what happens is the black woman gets bitter because she knew the dude was bad from jump. And just like the black man knew that black girl was ratchet from the jump. So what happens is we think all black women and black men is bad because we had that experience, because we keep dating that same type of person.
But you know what? Hey, Music Man. Music. Hold on, brother. Music Man. Listen to me. Hey, Music Man. Brother Music Man. Can he not hear me?
Dating those kind of women.
Music Man, you can't hear me? You can't hear me, brother?
I'm sorry. Let me turn.
Just hold on one
hear
second.
you.
I'm going to give you the floor again. But I have to... What we tend to do is create these blanket license kind of understandings, these generalities. And although there is some truth to what you're saying, that truth is a half-truth because it doesn't cover the absolute story. Because
that's why I said it's just part of it.
What I believe is not only is what a portion of what you're saying is true, but I think you also have to factor in the fact that you get who you are for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
You get who you are for a reason. And that reason is not, oh, I'm a good person and I'm attracting a bad person. No, I'm a person who is attracting something that my soul needs. And if we get away from I'm the good person attracting a bad person, we also disconnect the victimhood consciousness. Because what happens is in the victim, that's one of the biggest things that plagues African American relationships is victimhood. So we blame white people for the way the system is. The system is the way it is. Whoever wins the war gets to rewrite history. The Egyptians did it. You know, shit. You go to Egypt today. They never reported a loss in a war. It's all victories. So the white man has taken over. And I'm not saying we make excuses, but what we need to do is educate ourselves. And I don't mean through an institution. I mean we have to educate beyond ourselves so we can be able to evaluate what true worth is, so we can connect back to self-respect. That's the difficult part.
I totally agree with you. And so can I say one more thing?
Yeah, you can.
This is the thing I don't like about black women as far as the personality is concerned. When we're in private, don't treat... I see so many of my friends or so many guys, they get treated like kings in private. And then sometimes black women, they flip the script and act different when they have company over or their friends. And what happens, they devalue their partners just to impress or entertain or humor their family, their girlfriends, or people who are outside of the relationship. Who don't
Music man, those are fake people.
Behind their backs.
Those are fake people.
And that's what I call a fake relationship, based on attention whoring. Which will really deteriorate the relationship. And another thing.
Hey, music man.
Like you said, you did say one more thing. I mean, that's two more things.
This is two more things.
Counting is important in a relationship. I'm gonna be back in 5 minutes.
Basic math. Basic math. Come on now, get this one out, man. We got to let you go now. The lines is busy.
But basically, and then another thing, arguing deteriorates the relationship. When you always got attitudes disrespectful to each other instead of talking things out like adults should, having communication skills which qualifies you as an adult.
Which one of them?
When you yelling all the time because you haven't been disciplined when you was a child and grew up spoiled.
Is it the one that ain't blinking?
You know, that's what will deteriorate a relationship. I was just throwing some things out.
Thank you, music man. I appreciate you, dude. I really appreciate you, brother. And seriously though, that was good information, man. We got Soul Wonder on the line. Soul Wonder, holla at me, man.
What's going on, people? What's going on, brother Zoe, cousin Geoff?
What's going on, man? How's your diet? How's your diet?
I'm getting there, brother. I'm getting there, my cousin.
He just had a pot pie with a
lukewarm pork sandwich with some lard.
James Tanner, coming from the school of Corinthians. I love you, brother. I love your knowledge and insight. I'm gonna keep it quick. I don't have a problem with interracial dating. My thing is that dating the opposite race, as you know, for love as opposed to stature. That's my problem. Not date because you fall in love with a person or whatever, but date because it gives you a certain type of stature. I think that's a big problem, especially with black folks that get money.
But money is the Soul Wonder. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. Money is the end all, begin all when you're dealing with a capitalistic society.
That's right.
Listen, I've said this before. Some of our relationship concepts, like you hear sisters say it all the time, which nowadays is becoming oxymoronic, right? He has to make at least as much as I make or more. Why? Because just in case something falls off on my end, he can take care of me. I just want to have the security blanket to know that he can take care of me. This is why I say black women are entering into a renaissance period. Whether you know it or not, you are renaissance women. What I mean by that is you have higher education and you have better jobs. Even though you're making less money than most CEOs, black women are, women in the world are more employed than men are right now. So the old traditional concept of him being a provider, you need to recontextualize. This is what we talked about in the currency show. If you're able to provide for yourself, if you're able to find that golden serendipity, the road of serendipity, the golden road of financial independence on your own, you now need to recontextualize what provision is from your man. He has to come with some different kind of provision. But if you stay stuck in the tradition, you're asking for a contradiction because he's going to come in butthurt right off the top.
Can I say something?
You're making more money than me, damn it. Turn down your financial gains, Trick. Let me handle this. Go deeper.
I got a question for Zoe and Geoff. Okay.
Why us? We have women here. No, just go ahead.
I'm speaking for all the women in the room right now because I channel stuff.
Do you guys want him to do that, Amazonians?
Give me a shot. Give me a shot. So I think as I listen to what the women are thinking about all this, I'd like, how would each of you answer the question, what do we have the right to expect from you and what don't we?
Ooh, great question.
Is that good? Is that good, women?
Ooh,
that is great.
I'll take a stab at that one.
I'll go back to my XY chromosomes now.
Oh no! Hey, listen, we already have a room full of women. We don't need you shifting.
Okay, what do we have a right to expect?
No, women.
They have a right to expect.
If all the women in the room are saying, okay, don't get on your high horses, don't be defensive. We really want to know, what do we have the right to expect from you, and what don't we? And whatever you answer, then if we ask you whatever you've promised, are we being nags?
Okay.
Are you being nags?
If they ask you what you promised.
But asking isn't nagging. Nagging is nagging.
Okay.
Let's just be clear.
So what do the women have the right to expect from the two of you?
Okay.
If they were in a relationship with you.
Geoff, go, and then I'll go.
What does a woman have the right to expect from me? One, that I am a consummate gentleman. To expect me to be a caveman. There are things you will not be allowed to do. You're not allowed to walk your small dog at night. You're not allowed to answer the door at night. You're not allowed to take out your own trash. You're not allowed to do.
Geoff,
you don't work on your car. I do the man stuff. Regardless to how much money I make, I believe that is a certain man role. You can expect me to always respect your opinion, but always be in a position where I don't take your opinion, and just because I don't take it doesn't mean I don't respect it.
Wow. James, I want you to answer that too. Please, can you answer that?
Yeah, I'm almost the same thing as Geoff. It's just I can be a man. You making more money doesn't make me less of a man.
Right.
I have to protect you. I have to lead. I have to father our children. I have to be an example especially sons, be an example of a man to our son.
Right.
I have to, and the other subject was about do man stuff around the house. I'm not going to let my wife do any man stuff. I don't let my wife do any man stuff around the house.
Right.
And she takes out I take out the car. I don't even let my woman do the gas at night.
Thank you.
With an empty tank, I'll go fill it up before she goes to work.
Get my rusty ass out and go pump her gas.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah, things like that are just little intangibles. The thing is that sisters have gotten the game twisted where they think because they make money that makes them our equal. And that's the problem. And society keeps telling them that.
Wow.
Now, let me answer too.
That's like a whole.
Yeah, go on, Zoe.
Let me answer too. James, were you done or did you have more?
No, I'm good. I'm done.
All right. So let me answer. You put in everything James and Geoff said. I'm on board with that too.
Here go the deep shit.
But also, you are to expect me, and this is what's missing in our community. You must expect me to be the wise man of our relationship. You are to expect me to be the guru of the relationship. And what I mean by the guru, because a woman, let's not act like this is not what's missing in our community. A woman resonates to a spiritual man. And what I mean by that is a lot of women in our society are looking for a God-fearing man when they should really be looking for a God-realized man. Right? So let me go deeper into the context of that, Doc. As the spiritual leader of our relationship, this is where I believe the true trust can be built. Because I'm going to advise not just from a superficial place. I'm going to advise from a spiritual place that, you know what, I may take us on a journey that might not feel good to us, but ultimately is good for us. And the only way for you to follow me through that path is to trust me.
So let me set you guys up a little bit more because I think you're flunked.
What?
I'm good with that. I
am just a channeler of feminine energy.
Are you?
Bring it.
So
you should have left your penis at the house.
Yeah.
Dr. Mark, would you hold that thought 1 second? This is DT. Zoe, I wanted to touch upon what you just said. I don't know that I need you to be the spiritual guru, because your wife or your woman can be wise as well.
Indeed.
I need you to be the tiebreaker.
There it is.
Meaning that you're a little bit more of a leader than I am.
Absolutely.
That you're the tiebreaker.
Well, this
That's
goes,
what works best.
No, I like that. I want to tee them all up because you said what they can expect from you, and you all answer that. But you didn't. Can they expect of you what they want and need you to be, not what you think they should want and need you to be?
But see, again, Doc, wait a minute. This is why I say,
can we get the women's point of view?
We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Yes. We can get that. We can get that. But let me clear this up for the Doc.
Incredibly vague.
Doc asked a great point, but again, it goes back to when you say, can we be what they want us to be?
No, not all.
Where are your wants manufactured?
Yes.
We have to ask that question. I cannot be some unrealistic expectation that you think will carry you into a fantasy.
Zoe, put a sock in it for a second.
I will not.
Okay, put a foot in it then. Because you were all ready out of the gate to answer, well, this is what they can expect from me. And as soon as they started to tell you, well, what if we want to expect other things, you're immediately sort of saying, well, we're going to reject that because you're just a product of all this other stuff.
I didn't say we would reject it. What I'm saying is not every want is a benefit. We have to question where the wants are manufactured.
Oh my God.
Okay, Jeff Brown and then James.
Aneurysm.
Or can we have the women's point of view?
Yes.
Woman.
Jump in.
I'm dying to say something.
James. All right, so hold on.
Masculine energy.
We're gonna turn off the men's mics, but let Jeff and James make this point.
Please. Okay. What you just said is, what if I want something different? Well, first, we are going to examine what is that. I'm not going to say, oh, well, yeah, whatever you might want. No, that is not my job. In the words of my grandfather, the man is the tree and the woman is the kite. She is beautiful, she is spiritual, and she flies up at every wind. If you a kite with her, ain't no telling where y'all gonna wind up. Somebody got to be the boss. Somebody got to be the general. If you got two generals on the field, everybody dies. Right. My woman's word is very important to me. Sways me often, but my word is final. If it is not, I'm not the leader.
That's done deal. All right, so let's do it this way. That's real. Yes, James, and then we're going to all the women.
Oh, great. Oh boy.
No, wait. Let me get the question straight. We supposed because I wasn't aware I was asked this question. That's like some woman shit right there. I'm supposed to answer something I was going to ask.
What are we even talking about?
What you want without you telling me? Because that's how the question. That's how I heard the question.
Yeah. What is it?
Well, you probably would have to start listening.
No, he did. I didn't know. I heard the same thing.
I was asked. What do I bring to the relationship? What is expected of me in a relationship? And I answered that. Now, what you expect me?
No, he said we flunked. He said we flunked with that. He said we flunked with our answers.
How did we flunk, dude? Doc, you want some baby face shit right now for real?
Oh wow.
I mean, you want some sipping? The women in that room must be beautiful because you sipping like a motherfucker.
They are beautiful. I can't lie.
Fine, James.
I'm keeping game right now.
Ain't no sixes in here.
You just to answer a question.
Now I asked you this question: what do women have the right to expect from you? So
I said I said it, but after that, I said it.
How did I flunk?
Said it. Then after that, it was like some other unknown shit that came up.
No. What
I
happened is all you guys came up with. This is what they can expect from me, and then what I was picking up in the room is, well, can we tell you what we'd like to expect from you, not what you think we should expect from you, and then it's deteriorated. The whole conversation. The women have not had a chance to speak.
That's not fair, Doc.
The women have not spoken.
Well, we're about to hear from them.
Talking about interracial relationships.
Okay, men, my brothers at arms.
Dude,
let us allow.
I got a man check this dude right here.
Let us allow.
Hey, this is why they like the white guys. Come on.
No.
Yeah. And you know what?
Hey,
I don't know one brother that's going, man, they gone.
No, but Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Huh?
Jeff and James.
Yeah.
The doc does bring up a valid point.
What?
I'm into it.
And I think the valid point is this. A lot of times, us men, we come to the table saying, this is what you can expect from me. Mm-hmm. I think what the doc is saying is, are we open to working with the expectations of the woman?
That's not what he said.
Hold on.
That's exactly what I said.
Hold on, Jeff. Jeff, hold on. I need a traffic cop.
All right. Shut up, everybody.
Right. What I'm saying is, right now, I, as a man, am open to the expectations of my woman.
Absolutely.
However, those expectations must be scrutinized.
I agree.
Together. We must sit, and I'm going to open it up to all the women. Everybody, men are going to shut
up.
We're going to be quiet as church mice.
Can I say this right quick before you do that?
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
say it real quick.
This is so typical.
Okay, the man can't do that because women's expectations change from time to time. All it takes for a girl to do is to go out with her friends one night and her whole fucking perspective of the relationship changes. We can't ever make you happy.
Wow.
Let's talk about we can't ever make you happy. I tell my wife all the time, we've been married 14 years. I tell her all the time, I can't make you happy. I got to make you happier. I need something to start with. So,
hey, that's a great point. Hey,
that's a good point.
That's a great point.
One.
James Hanna in the building. Now, women's turn. Men, quiet. Margo.
You want to know what I would expect, what I expect from a man, or what do you want to know specifically?
Don't say it like that, Coffee Brown. Yeah.
Just answer what the doc said.
Okay. Well, okay. So basically, I think that as far as in a relationship goes, I believe that people aren't communicating. I think that as far as the roles in the relationship go, I think that people just get in the relationship and they find out things along the way as they go, and they end up having these explosive arguments and fights, and they never actually discussed what the role, who was going to assume what role, or what was okay. And I think that and I don't believe that it's right for a man to come in a relationship. I'm the king, and this is how it goes.
Wrong.
Even though a good woman, a wise woman, knows how to make her man feel powerful outside of the bedroom, and she can still know how to do certain things that she needs to get done behind the scenes, and allow the man to feel like it was his idea, in a sense. I hate to say this, but that's exactly what it is. And I think that women who master this art, they actually have more relationship success when you allow a man to be a man. Mm-hmm. You can still maintain your power. You don't have to shout him down. You don't have to nag. You just need to be effective.
What about
with
disrespectful? You don't have to be disrespectful? Go deeper into that.
Okay, do I know how to be disrespectful?
I'm just saying you don't have to be.
Yeah, you don't have to be disrespectful.
You don't have to beat your breast. That don't even make sense.
No.
Beat your breast. Go ahead, finish.
What you gonna do for me? No, you don't have to do that. But I think at the end of the day, I think that women do need to learn how to communicate better with men, and I don't care what, and I don't think that it's good to be just docile either and just not say anything, because then you silence yourself. You're not honoring yourself and your own voice. That's not good at all. And I don't think that a man has the right to silence a woman either. A woman does have an opinion, and she should be able to voice it in her relationship.
Jasmine Diaz.
Okay. Finally. I can finally breathe, because I feel like there's something that was said that James mentioned that everybody's kind of skipped over. And that was a little, well, we've been talking for a long time, so I don't even know when that was. But it was a while ago, and it was in relations to interracial dating, just to kind of bring it back. The thought or the comment that was made, that at least maybe I might be misinterpreting, that interracial dating equals self-hate. And I kind of...
Not absolutely.
No. I get that, but there was something that was said that kind of irritated me about that comment.
Go deeper.
Well, I think for a lot of people, reasons why they might not date outside their race is because they feel like there is going to be some massive breakup of the black family. And, I personally don't feel like, and I might be scolded for saying this, but I personally don't hold the black family. I don't hold it that much on a pedestal that I feel like I need to be in control of it. Right. So, I think about.
Hold on. Can I get in?
No. Not yet. No, James. Not yet.
Let me finish this.
Not yet, James.
Write it down, nigga. Write it down.
Not yet, James. Not yet.
I'm over here writing my monkey ass off.
There's something to be said about interracial dating. It's not just a black and white issue. And I think a lot of times people think that when you date outside your race, it means you're dating a white man or a white woman. There's so many other colors in the spectrum that it's not a black and white thing. And then the other thing is like, just going back to the self-hate thing, my brother, black man, black parents, married a Japanese woman. And that was because he fell in love with her. And that doesn't mean that he hates his black women or that he hates himself. And I think just that notion is really irritating. That's all I'm going to say.
Man, no, that was good. I'm glad you were able to say it.
Keep going. Next set of titties. Next set of titties.
No,
you may not.
No, not yet.
Write it down, nigga. Write it down.
Punishment for right now,
all women, and then we're going to come back to the brothers.
Thank you. Going back on Dr. Mark's question, I think women have a voice. It's how you communicate that voice. Don't do it demanding. Don't do it asking. You can state what your needs and wants are, but there's a way of doing it where it's just laid on the table and it's the guy's role to pick it up, do something with it, take it from there. So you're allowing the guy to be the guy. You're allowing the guy to be in charge. You were asking, Dr. Mark, do women have the right to ask or demand certain things? And I think no, because sometimes it does come from a bad place. So I agree with you. And so the intent is wrong. And then we're getting into the nagging, demanding, oh, she's a bitch territory, which guy is going to respond to that?
Right.
It's
Save me from my wounds.
Yeah.
Wrong.
So I have found out in my relationships that sometimes what I need is more valuable to me and the relationship than what I want.
Wow.
And when the guy picks up on that and supplies that need, there is no greater love than that. And it took me a long time to learn that lesson because I was, kept asking for what I want. And then I woke up one day and I thought to myself, you're just being a 5-year-old kid.
Wow.
Would you agree with, because something you just said about
Doc,
how you said,
Doc, you don't get to answer no question.
You got to write the question.
I was listening and responding. I was not competing. That
don't matter.
That was
you got
called
balls under this table. Balls supposed to be
The men
quiet.
spoke for like a half hour.
We're supposed to be quiet. It's women's turn.
Next set of titties.
Danisha? Not the next set of titties.
I know,
Jeff.
Jeff. Please.
I love titties.
I think what we're hearing, if I'm correct, is that we're hearing kind of themes of masculine and feminine energy and strength and power, and then you're hearing people's definitions. Obviously, we know what Jeff's definition of power is in his mind. Yeah. And when it comes to interracial relationships and men saying, "Oh, white girls are easier and they're nicer," it's I think it's a question of how black women have kind of learned to display their strength.
Yes.
We have kind of tuned into masculine energy out of necessity.
Come on, Mama.
Right. We have learned to be strong and powerful and run the household, and we have learned to emasculate our men.
323-965-600. Wow.
Without meaning to. So I think
in an
there's
unconscious kind of way.
Right. And there's a lot to be, and trust me, in my 20s, I was that girl. I work in a male-dominated industry. I was bossing everybody around, and if I wasn't doing that, I wasn't being strong and powerful. So I'll be damned if I come home and I'm going to get bossed around myself. But what it is, it's actually very exhausting. And we do build up resentment when we have to do everything.
That's right.
So when you're not doing everything and you allow him to help you, when you tell him what you need and he gives it to you, and that is what we do expect of you, is that when we tell you what we need, maybe we need to be heard.
Wow.
Maybe we need to be held. Maybe we do need that trash taken out. Maybe we do need to say, hey, you know what? You take care of this all the time. Can I drop your cleaners off for you? My man took my clothes to the cleaners last week, I could have done anything for him. Just for that one thing, because it was one less thing I had to do. And he was thrilled that he was able to help me. So what I am saying in these moments is not that white girls are nicer or black girls are meaner. It's that they may have tuned into their feminine energy a little bit more. Woo. They may be a little more receptive. Woo. Approach the communication a little bit differently, and it might just be more effective. And so what I think black women, whoever they're speaking to, should be focused on how effective they're being.
Wow, that is heavy. Kibibi Springs, go.
I just want to go back to Jasmine's point. You know, during this whole conversation, it definitely brings up some emotions in people on both sides. You know,
you about to cry?
Brothers, you're not the only ones who get upset sometimes when you see that you're not being chosen. But at the end of the day, as you evolve and you mature, it becomes about compatibility. Yeah. And love does not have colors on it. It doesn't come in shades. Who you're attracted to, where you find chemistry, and where you find that comfort is where you find it. And no one should be put in a box, one side of the coloring box, because, you know, someone else doesn't like it. If you don't like interracial dating, don't date interracially.
Hello. Wow. All right. Great point. Hello. James Hanna, the floor is open for you now, James.
Okay, now I want to respond to what that sister said. The first one was, I didn't say all interracial relationships are rooted in hate. What I'm saying is that black people are not honest, that a lot of it is driven by self-hate. We're not being honest about that. And that's my problem with it, is that we desire, we crave other colors, be it black, be it white, Asian, Hispanic. We think that that's better. On some level, we think that it's better to go outside of our race, and we're not being honest about that.
I think there's a piece of truth to that. I think there's a piece of truth to that. I mean, I have a friend who is black, and she refuses to date black men only because she feels like black men have an issue and that Hispanic men are better. So I understand what you're saying there.
Wow.
That's self-hate.
True.
Wow.
And that's what I'm talking. We're not being honest about that. You got brothers. It's the same thing with brothers. The second they get some money, they think that the white girl is the move up.
Wow.
You know, and nobody's being honest about it. It's bullshit. All this stuff about it's love and love your colors. That's bullshit. Y'all niggas are looking for others, and that's we're not being honest about.
Ooh, hey.
You meet a white girl. If a brother meets a white, let's say Zoe, you meet a white girl at the grocery store. Y'all accidentally bump shopping carts, and all of a sudden a conversation comes from that, and that conversation leads to a coffee date. The next thing you know, it's a real date. The next thing you know, this is your girlfriend. That's great. But niggas don't do that. We go out hunting for white women.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow.
So then is it okay for...
Black people don't... black women, I mean, y'all go out hunting for white boys. And I want to say this, if you on your tip white boy, it's you that's the fucking problem.
Got your white boy tipped arrow.
Look at Halle Berry. This bitch done been baby mama by 2 white boys. So it's her.
But she was married to a black man. How about that? We're skipping that.
But the black man, but she been baby mama by 2 white boys. How ignorant is that? She got 2 white boys fighting at Thanksgiving dinner. That's nigga shit. So that's
So is it okay for, you know, when you see a black woman walking down the street with a white guy, or vice versa, or however way we see it these days, because it's LA, is it okay then for, you know, the black person on the street, the black community, to then ridicule this person because they decided? You're automatically assuming that they're dating up. They may have just fell in love. They may have just, you know, had a spark.
I can tell immediately if you on some bullshit.
Really?
Yes.
Because y'all
then you are doing some seriously like clairvoyant shit.
All right, so listen, James.
When y'all get that white boy, you get funky. It's this wall that comes up when you get around black men. There's never gonna get a wall that comes up.
Wow.
And it's this aloofness that sisters of serial daters of white boys put up.
So James, let me do this. Let me go to Geoff real quick, because Geoff has some cue cards that he's been writing. Geoff, hit your point. Then I'm gonna go to Mark Goulston.
I'm gonna try to hit him as fast as possible. To piggyback on what James just said, sexy freckles.
Sexy freckles.
I want you.
Somehow I knew that was me.
I want you to think about it. Was you that said that you have? This question is rhetorical.
Okay.
You have a friend that refuses to date black men. Does she at all remotely fit the description of the wall that comes up that James just discussed? That's rhetorical. Think about it. Okay. Now, where was I first? Okay. This is for you, Tower of Fineness next to me.
Yes.
What is so bad about a man being a king, and why is it? And this is what I picked up.
And wait, this is rhetorical.
This is rhetorical.
Okay.
I can't tell you what it is, but I can tell you what it looked like.
Okay.
It looked like there's a problem that women have with a man's king-like stance being a facade. Why does it have to be a facade? Why is it something tongue-in-cheek? Oh, he's the king, but no.
I secretly control him. He is a puppet of mine.
I have no problem saying that I am the head and my woman is the neck, and she can turn my head wherever she wants. No one in a relationship should be bossed around. I don't boss my wife around. I'm just the boss. I don't boss her around. And as far as brothers really getting our nose bent about sisters, you can date who the hell you want. I don't know any brothers that really, and I talk to a bunch of them, and I mean everything from kings to cruddy-ass niggas are friends of mine, and we never spend 40 seconds on, damn, all those sisters is going where they going. You know why? Because there's no great American woman shortage. It's us that is the shortage.
Wow.
So what we are concerned about is what quality is available when we're serious. That's what we're worried about.
Doc?
Whoa, I'm sitting next to the tsunami here, the tsunami salami.
Doc, you abandoned us today, Doc. You've abandoned us. But go ahead.
Go ahead.
He's not biased. That's all.
Oh, we're biased now? Is that what we're going to do?
I'm biased.
Wait,
I'm a dude.
Wait, I want to respond to this king thing, because I'm okay with a man being king as long as you think of the game of chess. Because if you think about it, the king in the game of chess does nothing. It just loses the game or wins the game. The queen does everything in the game of chess. And so I think the key is, whether they can really sort of respect and appreciate things. I will tell you, when I've been around and back, when I speak to couples or see couples who've been around for many years, what's actually more important to them as they're down the road is not how much they enjoy or love or respect the other person. It's how much they feel loved, enjoyed, or respected by the other person. In fact, when I ask people who've been in a relationship for more than 15 years, would you rather enjoy the other person or feel enjoyed by them? Would you rather put a smile on their face when you come home, or do you have to be the one who's enjoying them? And nearly all these people say, I would give anything to feel enjoyed when I come home. I would give anything to feel liked. I would give anything to feel a smile on the other person. And what happened, a lot of women say, I feel the same way. He comes home and he thinks I'm negative. Well, he's not the happiest person in the world when he comes home from whatever. And I think a lot of times we need to think about what do we need to do so that, and the point I wanted to make with is
Linda.
Yeah, Linda, is that let me ask you this, if something is really important to you to say, is it important to think about how to say it so it could be heard well?
Ooh. Of course.
Because if you jam it down someone's throat and it's really important to you, people will not hear what you say. They will just puke out the jamming.
Well, now let me go deeper.
And also with men, there's a timing issue. Like you can't hit them first thing, when they come home from work. You got to give them a little bit of cave time for 30 minutes before you lay something on them. But
let me do this. I have a white-black question.
The when and the how is very important. Yes.
A quick white-black question, because we're talking about white women versus black women. Do you think white women, I don't know if it's more of a submissive versus whatever, do you think they pause before they speak slightly more than black women? Because what we're talking about, you have a conversation and it very quickly escalates. And I'm just picking up sort of in the energy in this room, there's a part of you that pauses slightly longer than the black women.
Yes, I think so. And I think as
Are you saying white women are better?
No, they pause.
I'm not saying it's better.
And so it doesn't escalate so quickly when you pause.
Right. And to touch upon what Rashida was saying,
you mean
I think
Danisha?
it's a Oh, I'm sorry.
Danisha, Rashida, one of them.
Sorry.
Boom, Quita.
What's one of those dashiki names?
It's a learned behavior, I think, with the black women, that they have learned to really take on this masculine role. And taking on the masculine role is very effective in business. We have to, as women business owners and entrepreneurs and what have you. But in a relationship, when you come home at 6 o'clock, you got to turn that off. because then the relationship doesn't work. But yes, I think it's a learned behavior in the black women community.
So let me do this. Because a friend of mine reached out to me on Facebook. I'm not going to say her name, but she was moved by all of the questions. You guys got to join my Facebook groups. I have a couple. I have a Zoe Williams fan page. Then I have the Zoe What discussion group page. You got to follow me on all of these pages, and I have my personal page, and I just blast all of these pages with questions. And she was moved by the questions. She says, "Hi, Zoe. I read your posts about interracial relationships. I've always had a hard time with my..." She's interracial too, right? Her mother is, I think, Latino and dad's black or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but she's of mixed heritage. She says, "I've always had a hard time with my little brother dating only white girls, and, she was like, I had conversations with my brother, I'm not going to give his name, and my father about it. My brother explained that with black women, he has always had to jump through hoops, and whatever he did was never enough and didn't satisfy them materialistically or financially. With white women, it seemed easier to him. He was allowed to be himself, and he was appreciated for who he was. He just got married in last July. I find myself around my boys sharing my favoritism in beauty for women of color. Not sure if it's my own love for the women that raised me, or I have befriended in my life, or just a love of culture and our rich history. I hope I will grow to love my sister-in-law and my son's choices in relationships, as it seems they are following me in the same path. And so her question is basically pointing out something that I think is the 900-pound elephant in the room. Are black women simply too domineering? Do they expect too much? Are they too angry? Are they pushing black men away? Good suitors. Are they judging black men by a criteria that in this society isn't necessarily set up for black men to win in? And we have to ask these questions. I'm being forced to take a break. When I come back, we're going to the callers, and I want to get your opinion on that question. Are black women mahouts? Right? Are we just mahouts? You know what a mahout is? It is an elephant trainer. And elephant trainers get killed by the elephants they raised based on how they raised them. If they raise the elephant with love, the elephant is their companion forever. If they raise the elephant with ingenuity, the elephant is their companion forever. But if they raise the elephant with malice and hurt, the elephant seeks out to kill them at some point. Are black women evil mahouts to the black man? Somebody call me, 323-964-1600. We'll be back at 2.2. Ladies and gentlemen, So What Mornings back in the building. Oh my God, this show.
Fire.
Relationship mahuts. Maha is a Sanskrit word that means great. Like when you say Mahatma Gandhi, Mahatma means great soul. Maha, great. Right? Mahut, Maha, great measure. Problem is, with these relationships, man, we become each other's mahuts, and based off of the internal pain and strife we've been raised in, that is how we try to manicure and manage our relationships. We are managing from a space of pain. We are managing from a space of hurt. And when it comes to black men and women, I always say resentment builds resistance, right? The concept of upgrading, right? You listen to Let Me Upgrade You by Beyonce. It's a record about materialism. It has nothing to do with spiritual upgrading, which is the essence or the reason for why we have relationships. Relationships are designed for you to face yourself, your weaknesses, your ineptitudes, your inadequacies, your small little idiosyncrasies that are conscious and or unconscious to you. That's what it's there for. Like I always say, it's not there so you guys can sit and watch Desperate Housewives on Sunday. It's not there for that. That's part of the perks of being in a relationship, being able to share time. But the real meaning behind relationship is to develop and grow as an individual. And sometimes you develop and grow apart. The problem is we get so hurt when we get disappointed. But disappointment is part of the growth cycle. It's part of the damn layers of your onions being revealed. I'm just saying, it's part of it.
Oh my God, I just had a flash of some dude coming home, and this other guy is laying pipe to his wife like there's no tomorrow. And she looks up and goes, disappointment is a part of the growth cycle.
You're supposed to be angry.
You're supposed to feel that.
You're going to evolve to the next level.
Now watch what he does when I put my leg here.
Oh, God.
This is also part of the growth process, right?
Let's deal with the question, though. Let's deal with that question. Because I watched that documentary about black men escaping to Brazil.
Oh, wow.
And how the Brazilian women... I mean, and I have to, and it made me realize that the American society, although it is a patriarchal society, is somewhat of a hybrid, because women in America experience levels of freedom and financial freedom and educational freedoms that, if you compare with other women across the world, there's very few cultures that can compare with how far American women can actually go, right? You go to Brazil, they have a totally different kind of patriarchy that says the man is the man. He's the man. I don't care what's going on. He's the man. There's a level of, hey, do what I tell you to do down there that black men here in America appreciate. They go there and the women don't feel any less for doing it, for catering, for whatever the gender role speaks of them. They don't feel like I'm less than a woman for appeasing this guy. My question here is, how do we get past the trauma of slavery, the trauma of, I'm going to date a white man? Because if you look at the upgrade system that we talked about in this show, the white man is the top dog when it comes to the economy, when it comes to this government, when it comes to this country. He's the top dog. So if women are always saying, black women are always saying, he's got to make as much money as me, he's got to be at least as educated as me. Well, there's a whole group of men that are equally educated and making more money than you, and they just so happen to be white. Are you saying that's the best choice? Somebody speak to us on that. 323-965-1600. Before I get to my panel, do we have callers on deck that want to speak? Nope. Well, the lines are flashing. I'm sorry. Well, then, if that's the case, let's go to our panel. Can we deal with this? James Hanna, can we deal with the 900-pound gorilla in the room, the angry black sister, and the angry black man? Talk to me.
I mean, it's just, dude, we got too much baggage from slavery, man. We only been free 150 years. We've been slaves for 400. So I guess we got to wait another 400 to get it together. I don't know. I mean,
how long is it going to take, or what is it
huh?
going to take? Do you think?
What's it going to take?
What is it going to take? I mean, 150 years. So what is it going to take? Do you think?
It would take. I mean, you want me to be brutally honest?
Go.
I mean, it would help if white folks was less racist, and I mean that would help.
No, you can't expect
so we
someone
could even
else to step up to the plate. It's you have to take responsibility for yourself and for your own actions. So what is it going to take?
You're not listening. I take responsibility for myself, but let's not pretend that this other elephant in the room is not racist white society fucking with us all the time. That the cards are stacked against us all the time. I mean, the average brother can have the greatest intentions in the world of getting out there. Okay, but I mean, no matter how rich we are, no matter how successful we are,
but if you're waiting for the white,
we're always being devalued.
If you're waiting for the white man to change his position on this, aren't you making yourself? You're continuing being
subjugating yourself,
subjugating. You're continuing that victimhood.
I'm just acknowledging what I'm saying is I'm acknowledging it's there. I just don't think I think it's bullshit to act like it's not there.
It's going to get better in the next 20 years, and it's over for any of us over the age of 40. Because the reason is when you look at millennials, they're kind of gender blind. I mean, when you speak to women, they don't think there's anything stopping them. And I think young black millennials, if they stepped into that, I don't think they feel it as much as people over the age of 40 or 50. And
not necessarily true. I mean, I'm in my 30s.
I tell sisters this: if you think you equal to a white woman, come up missing.
Come up what?
Come up missing. See who look for you.
Yeah. Nobody has. Listen, the white woman has the greatest PR firm in the world. Yeah. Because listen, when that little white girl went missing in the Bahamas, the whole world was on alert.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. If there are little black girls that go missing every day.
Yeah, there's still a premium on white flesh.
Come on.
So I mean,
that's true.
You remember? You know how to when there's a multi-car pileup. You ever see a helicopter come down in the middle of the road and pick up somebody? I'll lay odds that's a white person they're putting in the helicopter.
Becky's lost.
If there's a multi-car pileup of blacks and Mexicans, you know what they call? Tow trucks. We got to get this shit out of the way. Fucking up traffic.
I think there's something being said.
It ain't equal till it's equal, and we got to get past that. We get reminded we niggas every day.
Wow. Hey, James, let me go to Jasmine real quick.
I think part of that is the problem. It's like it's easy to date a white guy because ain't shit holding him back. So it's like watching a magic trick in front of you that he has no limits and he can do whatever he wants to do.
And let me say this, James. Let me say this.
Hold on. Let me say this. I just finished writing on a TV show where I contributed more to. I was the only black guy in the room. Contributed more to the writing process and on the page than three of the white guys who were there way before me. But at the end of the day, it was some intangible bullshit. Is why I didn't get made permanent. And that's just bullshit black men have to deal with that sisters need to understand when they judge us on income and job and job placement and things like that.
Right.
We have those little intangible. White guy never gets when it goes to the judges, it always works for the white guy. And those little things like that.
That's a good point. Listen,
about white privilege is a factor in these situations.
James, hold on one second. Jasmine had a point. And she wanted to get it off. Jasmine,
well, I think there's a little bit of truth to what James is saying in relation to, just the problems that African Americans, black people, whatever you want to call us today, that we face, the injustices, I guess you could say. But I think at some point, and this is kind of to Linda's point, at some point, we as a black community, we do have to kind of do our own work. And at what point does it stop becoming the white man that has done us wrong?
Well,
How long does
say this.
that last?
That's a great question. And that's a great question.
Stop doing us wrong.
Well, hold on. Everybody can't talk at the same time. Yeah. Follow my lead. Let me say it again. To answer the question, so we don't just run over every point that's being made, Jasmine asks a great question. Linda poses a great point, as well as James. The answer to, like, for instance, do we expect a mentally retarded kid to kind of make his own decisions. You know, he is what he is, right?
I expect him to be able to count them toothpicks when I drop them. I'm
just saying, when he comes in and he knocks over something that's valuable or breaks some glasses, we give him a pass, right? Because we go, oh, that kid is suffering from something, right? Mm-hmm. I think not that the black race needs a pass, but I think when I see the black race, you know what I see? I see a traumatized child. Mm-hmm. We have to factor in what is it, PTSD? Mm-hmm. We have to factor that in terms of slavery, in terms of Jim Crow. We have to factor that in. So when we interface with relationships, we are interfacing with a baggage of torment. And this is how we're judging and assessing and evaluating each other. And I think it's really irresponsible for white people, because there's a consensus amongst white people that will say things like, oh, that was 150 years ago, get over it, what are you tripping off of, move on. It's hard to move on when the culprit, even though they are removed by a century and a half, won't own up and say, we did a terrible thing. When they acknowledge the terrible thing they've done with other races. So if they acknowledge it with the Indians and say, okay, now you guys are sovereign and you have your own sovereign states and you have these casinos and you have all of this and you have that and we acknowledge this and that. If you don't do that for black people, but the only recourse we have is to totally assimilate into your educational and government systems, this is the best way out of it. Bill Cosby, go get a job, go get education. But if the education is bereft of who we are, and it's all about falling in line, being in step, point in case. There's a movie out, 42, Jackie Robinson. A lot of black sports guys of his era didn't like him because he was a go along to get along nigga. He was the forerunner to Barack Obama. Let's just be real. He's the forerunner to Joe Louis. Joe Louis, listen, let me just say, Muhammad Ali didn't like Joe Louis because he felt he was an Uncle Tom.
And he said it.
He said it. Hey, we don't have any more Malcolm X's, any more Muhammad Ali's, which are true black men in the terms of if there is injustice or disrespect to us as men, we will stand against it. No, what we have is, well, that's the way it is. This is the white man's world.
We need to get our shit together.
And if you want to participate, this is the best way to do it. No, sometimes we have to stand alone and against that which oppresses us. We have to acknowledge that. Geoff?
Please. Okay.
That's all I was saying.
Yes.
That's all I was saying.
And this sounds like it's off topic, but it really isn't. To piggyback on what Zoe just said, and not to take away from Jackie Robinson, but if Jackie Robinson had never gone into the major leagues, who would Ken Griffey Sr., Ken Griffey Jr., Hank Aaron, Frank Thomas, Ralph Garr, who would all of these black, fantastic, David Justice, black, fantastic baseball players, Bo Jackson, who would they have played for? They would have played for the Negro Leagues, and you would have had to pay to see them. And that is something we have constantly, we look for the opportunity to give away, which is ownership.
Oh, God, we own the league.
Yes, you own the fucking league. You own the league.
God.
He single-handedly stuck a knife in that. Black people had their own hospitals. They had their own businesses. When you get rid of it, and this is not to say, and that's the other thing, every time I say that I am pro-black does not mean I am anti-white. Now, for the most part, when people say they are pro-white, they mean they are anti-black. And you cannot ignore that when you look at the way the black man and the white woman deal with one another and the way they deal with people outside of our race.
Listen, we have a radio alert right now. The youngest person in the room, the little sister.
Chuck Daisy.
Chuck D. Our girl, Chuck Doe, just gave me a note.
And so far.
I really don't want to read it. I want her to say it. You don't want to say it?
Get check him out. Go check him out. James, are you in a hurricane, nigga?
I know.
You roll your window up, nigga. Damn.
You're wrestling his cell phone.
You sound like you fight.
You want me to read it since I'm
No, she said something that's very. Ooh, please read it.
Okay,
Let us
I want to read it. Let's see.
God,
let's see.
I want her to read it.
Okay, so Chuck Doe, this is coming from her voice through mine. True, but like the doc said, the younger generation would hold on to what happened to the blacks. True, but like the doc said, the younger generation would not hold on to what happened to the blacks hundreds of years ago. It's only because the older generation is holding on to the injustice and teaching the truth to feel oppressed, y'all. Oppressed.
Yeah, read it, because she done murdered your whole...
All right.
I thought she was trying to...
Take it from the top.
I thought she was rapping. Y'all.
It said y'all.
Read it like it was.
Yeah, you put a period. You didn't put a period there.
It's barely there, I can tell.
You ain't even know it.
Quick note. No, I was saying that it's true that what the doctor was saying, but I said true, but like the doc said, the younger generation wouldn't hold on to what happened to the blacks hundreds of years ago. It's only because the older generation is holding on to the injustice and teaching the youth to feel oppressed. Y'all are teaching us to never overcome by continuing to ask someone to take ownership.
That actually is the point I was trying to make.
Can I hit that ball back?
That was the point I was trying to make with how long do we continue to feel the constant injustice that white people are doing us wrong. Yes, I admit that as a black woman, I feel the pressure. I see the eyes when I go into a store. I see how people sometimes hold the purses. I get that. And I respect that that's how it is for me. But I also realize that at some point, as a community, as a race, as a culture, we need to do a little bit better about saying, okay, this is our life. How can we go past this?
Great.
Please.
Jeff Brown.
Okay, go ahead,
Okay,
Jeff.
First off,
Jeff Brown.
I got you, Hannah Dog. I got you. There's a Jew in the room. Who has ever, that I know of, told young Jews to forget about what happened to old Jews? I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody Japanese. I don't know. Now, so I'm not saying that I don't teach my sons that you have been oppressed and this is what they did only. I say you have been oppressed and this is what they did and this is who you truly were. And this is truly where math and science and medicine comes from. This is truly, your excellence has nothing to do with how you fuck up your grammar. Your excellence has to do with how hard you look for other people who are excellent and look to find that within you. And I don't think that the two are married. I don't think that because I bring up the fact that 400...
There are some parents that actually don't give the other side. You're a great parent.
Who only feed their kids peanut butter. I can't relate to that. To say that we all do that because any of us, no, that's what it sounds like. I can't tell you what it is. I can tell you what it looked like. It looked like you saying that anybody who brings up what has happened to us, how and when, is only oppressing us, and I don't.
That wasn't my comment. Actually, it was Chuck made a comment.
Okay,
and I was piggybacking on some elements of her comment.
Okay,
but I will say that yes, I think it's important for us as Black people to continue to educate our people as we grow and have children and all of that stuff. I think it's a really important thing to continue to show the history of what we've been through. But I recognize and kind of...
But not the victimology of it.
Right, and kind of what Chuck was saying, I recognize that there is a group of us that don't want to educate the others on...
Oh, you mean the bougie Black classism people? The ones who said, fuck it, we done bought into the system lock, stock, and barrel. We will be the foot soldiers of white supremacy and look down our nose at the Black people who need our help. You mean them?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I have something important to say about that to add to.
Go ahead,
just to piggyback really quick.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that I think a lot of people... Is my mic on? Okay. A lot of people don't realize that traumatic things become a part of our DNA. So even if we weren't the teach people, well, look, you were oppressed, there's something inside of them that's going to respond a certain way to certain treatment or behavior because they're responding from the DNA. If you break your arm, then your children have a weakness in that arm. It becomes part of your DNA. So the same thing with trauma. And a lot of black women, hold on, same thing. But wait a minute. Black women, I think, are getting a bad rap because there's a lot of things that we've experienced, even being touched at an early age by uncles, fathers, cousins, people that we trusted. And it causes a certain a coldness that causes women to put this wall up. So a lot of times, if you can get past that wall, a black woman is very loving, very generous, and very kind.
I think what you're saying is beautiful. Yes. Let me add to it really quickly and then go to James Hanna because we got to wrap up and we're getting close.
Okay.
Trauma has been made into a personal advisor. That's who advises you on your life decisions. But what you fail to realize is trauma and forgiveness have been married longer than you have. And listen, an immune system in a body is designed to heal you from sickness. Well, guess what? That's the purpose of the immune system. Your ass got to get sick in order for it to work. You got to be hurt in order to reach forgiveness. So we spend our lives trying to avoid hurt. Hurt is part of the developmental process. And we get so stuck on the hurt, that's what you're saying, that we never get past the hurt. We just protect the wound and we won't allow the immune system to heal.
But we're not healing also.
We only got 30 seconds. Okay. I have to wrap up this show. Golly! Just when it starts getting crazy. James Hanna, where can they find you? Facebook, Truth Pace? What are we doing?
Facebook, James Hanna's Truth Pace on Facebook.
Man, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you. I love you, brother. I appreciate your POV. Yeah, let me do this. Jasmine Diaz, website. Who are you? Where can they find you?
Jasmine Diaz, Matchmaker. You can find me at SeanMcKenzie.com. Twitter, Black Matchmaker or Very Unmarried. And you can pick up my book, Dating Like a Superhero.
Wow. The Caveman Formula. DT, Linda Gross. Where can they find you?
Find my book on Google, Amazon, The Caveman Formula. I also do life coaching, one-on-one coaching.
I need help. Kibibi Springs, lifeonsprings.com. Where can they find you?
At lifeonsprings.com or at lifeonsprings on Twitter.
Wow, this has been crazy. Margo Hudson.
Yes, you can find me at Destin Love Life on Twitter, and you can also find me on YouTube, Destination Love Life 2, and I'm the Love and Relationship Editor at BeautyComeForth.com. Check out my article. It's about toxic relationships. BeautyComeForth.com. Click on relationships.
Wow, wow, wow. Jeff Brown.
At GB Funny Style is the twinner.
The twinner.
The twinner.
Right.
The twinner.
Gotcha.
Are you on Twitter?
And then, yes, and Jeff Brown on Facebook. Jeff Brown.
Wow, great stuff, great stuff. Mark Goulston?
Yeah, just Google me at under Mark Goulston, and just Google me. You'll find a bunch of stuff. Also, I'm on a panel at Loyola Marymount this Saturday for young men of color on how to get ahead in life this Saturday.
Awesome, cool. Awesome, man. That's beautiful stuff. Zoe Williams, you can follow me on Twitter at Zoe Williams. Join all of my pages, the Zoe What discussion group, my personal Facebook page, Zoe Williams. We've got all of these pages. Anyway, please go get The Rebirth of Seeds. All you have to do is email me at 2319zo1@gmail.com. I really appreciate everybody for participating. Danisha, Danielle had to leave a little early. This was an incredible show. I wish we had 2 more hours to go even further into it, but it's only about setting up the conversation to continue out in the world. I'll see you guys next week with another heater. Appreciate all my guests. Talk to you later. Deuces.